my sister
We
so
are
much.
a team.
This is why we are a perfect team. Like she's amazing. Thank you so much, sister. So ladies, get ready. Okay, let me know if it works. Okay. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Dear younger me.
Pequeña Lucia.
Dear younger self.
Dear Eben.
Dear Connie Lynn.
This is the mature, wiser you, talking to you years ago, decades ago, my younger self.
I've learned many valuable lessons along the way.
Lucia Irizarris, vivirás muchos cambios en tu vida. No temas. Eres y serás siempre la autora de tu historia.
The next 25 years will be filled with mountaintop and valley experiences. I hope you cherish the journey and see the blessing in every step.
Authority and accountability in your life are good things. Both are there to guide and instruct you.
Seek out discovering who you are as soon as possible. Instead of focusing on just what you will do, determine who you will be.
Don't ever take things personally. Don't hide out or hold back. Don't let pride get in the way. Just continue to pass it on.
Habrán procesos donde te tocará tener coraje, expandir tus alas y confiar que todo obra para bien.
Choose to listen to the voice within you, a voice so powerful, it doesn't even have to use words. The most joyful season in your life will come when you're not controlled by others' opinions.
When you are 23 years old, you will make the very smart decision to begin your Mary Kay business. You will be so scared and unsure of yourself and completely wrapped up in what your coworkers and your friends think. You have absolutely no reason to be afraid.
Know that through practicing transparency, you can gain, you can grow, and you can obtain support. Define your unique skill sets, your strengths, your love language, and most importantly, be in tune with your deserve level.
As you grow in your business, keep the main thing the main thing. Keep your focus on loving and serving other people.
Oh, it starts with me, and it starts with you, and it ends with me, and it ends with you. But it's nothing about us. Mary Kay knew that, and she passed that on to us. Now, I'm passing that on to you.
Tu vida será un ejemplo, tu historia será contada y tu legado vivirá. La oportunidad de Mary Kay cambiará tu vida. Darás visión y vivirás para ver los frutos de Dios en tu vida.
The best view often comes after the hardest climb.
I love you and who you are becoming.
Blessings on your journey, and may all who follow find us faithful.
Nunca dejes de creer. Lucia Fernandez.
Love, Pam.
Love, Randy.
Eben.
I love you and everything about you, Connie.
Now, ladies, as you see here, now it's time to think about your own journey and what would you say to your younger self? Because I know all of us go through obstacles in our personal and business life. So I wanted to share with you guys this beautiful video that if you guys did your Mary Kay University, you guys would probably have already come across, right? So I have the honor tonight to introduce our guest speaker. But before I do so, I am going to share a little bit about her. So, Lucia Fernandez is married to Lazaro Fernandez. She is also a mother of three. She began her Mary Kay career September 1998. She has earned the use of her first career car in December 2000 and debuted as a director at the same time. Wow. She also has been the winner of the Fabulous 50, an exclusive honor society in her first year as a director. She has also earned 18 gold medals, has 72 quarters as a star consultant. She has earned her highest paycheck, ladies, pay attention, in 1 month has been over 17,400 in a month, only on commission and bonuses, not including her sales. 17,000. Wow. Let's put our little clapping hands on Zoom, right? So her highest unit production in a month has been over 90,000 in retail. She has earned the National Court of Sharing. She has also her business not only in the US, but also in Puerto Rico, and was a pioneer for the international market in Colombia. She was also named Miss Annual Go Give Pearl Seminar 2011, making her, guys, the first Latina and only Latina to get this prestigious award in the Pearl division. Wow, she is representing las Latinas, okay? So please, all of you guys, if you guys could get your virtual hands ready and welcome our pink Cadillac future executive sales director, Lucia Fernandez.
Yay! Well, hello, hello. What an honor. I love to see you both here, Carla and Janeris. Oh my God, they have become so dear to my heart, even though that I don't, we have never seen each other, right? Because we're in different seminars. But what an incredible night we're going to have. And I'm in the East Coast. So that means that for you girls, it's 7 o'clock. For me, it's 10 o'clock. And but you put me in a Mary Kay platform, and definitely I'm just gonna my energy is just gonna go off the roof, because I love what I do, and I love to train, and I love to share what I've done throughout the years, and I love to give basically people hope, because I think that that's the most important thing that we do, is to give people hope and the opportunity that we have and in the things that we can achieve. I started my Mary Kay business 22 years ago. So that way I can tell you a little bit about myself and my story. I started 22 years ago. September was my 22nd anniversary. And it was a month to celebrate. And when I started in Mary Kay, I just didn't know it was Mary Kay's anniversary also. So for me, it was just knew that it was Mary Kay's anniversary. I just signed my agreement and that was it. But I want you all to know that I have tried Mary Kay before. Okay, I have tried Mary Kay before. I came from Puerto Rico. I'm from Puerto Rico. And when I came from Puerto Rico, I started Mary Kay. Someone asked me to come to a skincare class, and I went. And then this girl booked the second class in my apartment. I used to live very close to, I came here to go to college. So I used to live with my roommates very close to the University of South Florida. And I did the second class in my home. She left, never heard from her again. And then throughout the years, another girl asked me to be her model for a makeover. I went. They did pictures before and after. They never talked to me about the opportunity. I left. And I think it was like four times before I went to a studio and someone talked to me about Mary Kay. And why am I telling you this? Because it was a time, like in 11 years, that I tried the product, but no one talked to me about Mary Kay. And for that, I thought that Mary Kay was only for estheticians. I thought they knew, and that's why they weren't talking to me. And I was not going to ask questions, because if they're not telling me, it's because I'm not fit for this. I'm not good for this. I mean, they're supposed to know what they're doing, right? So I said, okay. So I guess I just buy the product whenever, I find the girls, because every single consultant was lost. No one ever stayed in contact with me. No one gave me a second call, not even to see how the product was going. Okay. So anyways, I went to this, how was it? Yes. no one talks to me about Mary Kay. So I was taking my daughter to school. It was not until I got married and have 3 kids, and I was taking my daughter to school. And this girl from Colombia asked me if I've ever had a facial with Mary Kay. And I said, as a matter of fact, I have, but it was many years ago because it was throughout the years. So she said, well, I would love for you to try the products. And I said, of course. So she booked an appointment with me. Now, at this time, I was working nights because I worked for a bilingual newspaper, and I was in charge of a marketing and advertisement department. So basically, I was there at night with the girls that work telemarketing. And I was taking care of my kids during the day. So it was just, I would just go and pick up my daughter from school and pick up 2 more that I was taking care of them for a neighbor, right? She needed to pick up her kids at 5. My husband needed to be in my driveway at 5:30 because it took me 25 minutes to get to the office. So at 5:30, I need to leave. At that time, you know, it was just calculating the traffic and the lights. I mean, I had everything to the T. So my life could just kind of function. But you know how sometimes you're stressed and you kind of manage the stress, but you don't do anything to get out of it. So the world just squeezes you into a mold and you just stay there. You do what you're supposed to do, but you don't look for a way out. You just function the way that you think you're supposed to function. So that was me. I was like, well, this is what I need to do. So I did it. No questions asked. I didn't complain. I didn't whine. This is what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to be with my kids during the day. So this girl asked me for a facial and I said yes. So that day after school, she came to my house. I had my 3. The 2 I was taking care of. She brought her 3. Okay. So you can imagine the chaos in my house with 8 kids under the age of 7 years old. Can you imagine that? It was a chaos, but even to that, I was used to, right? So she came into my house. We did a very quick facial and she invited me to go to the studio for a makeover. And the night that she invited me, the following week, I was off because I took off for my daughter's conference in school. And I was like, well, I'm off after school. You know, I'm pretty sure I can go because everything is just pretty much set in my home because I'm supposed to be working. So I'm pretty sure my husband's not going to die taking care of the kids. So, and one thing that it's very important to know is that my husband always said he was not the babysitter, he was the father. And that's good because he always took care of our kids when I was working at night or I was doing facials, but I get into that in a little bit because I think that doing your weekly plan sheet is very important to keep your times and to plan your time because time that you don't plan becomes a stress and you don't want to stress. You want to multiply and you want to be able to work. So that day I went to the studio. I did a makeover. I didn't know how to do my makeup. So they did a beautiful makeover and they talked to me about the opportunity. And I remember telling the girl, well, you know what? I don't have the money today, but I'm going to call you on Friday. I get paid on Friday. I'm going to give you the $100 because at that time it was $100. And what I love is that Mary Kay always said that she wanted women to be able to start a business with $100. And so many years later, you know, the company has been able to manage for us to start a business with $100. So I called her on Friday. I'm pretty sure she was thinking, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You know, everyone says that she's not going to call me. Well, actually, she said that, but I called her on Friday and I said, I'm ready. I have the $100. What do I need to do next? And because I saw the benefit. Did I have the time? I didn't have the time. But I also knew that my job was costing me to stay there. It was costing me money to stay there. And that's what I always tell my consultants. How much is costing you not to dream bigger, you know, and to go do your Mary Kay business? Because with this, I'm not telling anyone to quit their jobs. But what I'm telling you is that it is smart to build your business, and especially at this time. And then once you have built your business, then you can let go of your job. And that's exactly what I did. I quit my job, resigned at the office 9 months after I started my job, my Mary Kay business. I resigned. And I remember everyone just being like, oh, are you out of your mind? And I was like, you know, I spoke with my husband and I said, it's just you and me. Okay. So that was the best marketing plan that I have done in my career. I needed to show him that Mary Kay was going to give me money and that I could do this. If, you know, I'm trainable and coachable. And if you tell me what to do, I'm just going to go do it. Because I was new. I didn't know what to do. We didn't have social media. We didn't have cell phone. And I know that the majority of you cannot imagine your life without cell phone. I cannot imagine my life right now without a cell phone. But at that time, we didn't have a cell phone. So it was just whatever you can do, figure it out, but make it work. I mean, there was other women before us having success and making money. So I know it was not going to be hard. I just needed to figure it out and find a way, make a way. So that's exactly what I did. And 9 months after I started my business, I resigned at the office and just went to work. But you know, I didn't have to do the numbers so much to realize that I only needed to master my skills and to be disciplined, because the numbers were there. And I started doing Mary Kay only on Saturdays. It was the only day I had. It was the only day I had, basically. I used to just give the kids breakfast, get them ready, leave, and my husband would stay with them, and then leave, do 3 classes, and come back in the afternoon with money in my pocket, and just for dinner. We will always go out for dinner because I will bring money home. And I remember just starting to sell as a new consultant, just kind of $250 per class. Of course, when you master your skills, you know, you're going to sell more, because the more you do it, the more confident you feel, right? And confidence gives you knowledge, and knowledge is power. And when you feel powerful, you're going to do a lot of things. So I remember just getting better and better and better in what I was doing, and just getting in my car and saying, why would I say that? Oh my God, why would I say that? And I should have said the other way. But it was just, I was just learning and taking notes. Next time I cannot say this. I'm gonna kick my head, because if I say something like that. But anyways, I remember telling my husband, this is how much I'm making on Saturdays. I'm just doing skincare classes, and I'm selling at least $250 per class. That's $750 a week. That's $3,000 a month. I mean, I'm making $1,500 a month just doing 3 classes a week, and I'm doing them in a day. I mean, that's not hard work, right? And right now it's even easier because we are doing Zoom, and you can go, right now, I'm in the East Coast, you girls are on the West Coast. I mean, this would have never been possible if we were not in Zoom. Don't you agree? So out of every crisis, there's always something good that comes out. And what you have to do, your job is to find the good. If we stay in the bad, we're going to see all the obstacles, but your job is to find the good, while others are just whining and complaining on why are we in the house. I am just having a good time. I'm having a great time. And probably I'm working more than ever, because I am working all over the United States. I mean, with just Osprey, a new Red Jacket in New York, one in Maryland, one in Michigan, one in Texas, a few in Puerto Rico, here in Florida. It would have never been possible, right? If I was just working in Tampa, because that's where I'm at. If I was just working in Tampa, and of course in Puerto Rico, because I always work to Puerto Rico. So I didn't have to do the numbers so much. And I knew that if I can just discipline myself to do the things that I didn't want to do at the moment, but I knew that were going to be necessary for the future, I knew I can master my skills, and I get this business. I get it. And it is not a coincidence that this business is in the Forbes book. I mean, for the ones of you that know, Forbes magazine is a company that study the people that makes the most money here in the United States. But there's one book that is the 20 greatest stories of all times. And in this book, there's Bill Murray's, which is the one that financed the independence in the United States. Bill Gates, Walt Disney, Sam Walton. I mean, all these people that have make and create a huge impact in the economy here in the United States. And Mary Kay is the only woman in this book, the only woman in the only cosmetics company. I knew that this cannot be so hard. I mean, I can learn this product, and I can learn what to do, and I just have to discipline myself, because the battle is in the mind, right? The battle is in the mind. The things that we continue to repeat and tell ourselves is what make you weak or make you strong. But it's what we tell ourselves or what we allow others to tell yourself. So what's the loudest voice that you have on your ear right now? If it's not building you up, you need to mute that voice, because you got places to go and you got things to do, and you need people in your life that are going to build you up. Is life going to be perfect? No, it's not. And that's exactly what you need, people that are going in the same direction that you're going, because life is going to bring you a lot of obstacles. And if you have people that are only complaining and whining, it's not going to be possible. You cannot get something positive out of a negative bunch of people around you. I mean, it is just impossible, because then you become like that, right? We become like the people we hang with. So what I did is I resigned at my job, 9 months after I started Mary Kay, and I went Mary Kay full time. A year and a half later, I became a director and I earned my first car. And from that, my career has been, always giving me money. I have never had to go back to corporate America again. And that is a decision, right? Is a choice. It was my decision once I left corporate America not to go back. And because it was a decision, that means that I had to do and make daily decisions on what to do, how many calls am I going to make? And that extra call, that extra skincare class that you do a day, that extra conversation, when we feel that we're tired, that we don't want to do it, that extra one is in the extra, is in the things that sometimes you don't want to do, where you're going to find success. All right. And the more you do it, the more success you're going to find. So I raised my kids. I'm a mom of four. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you maybe are moms, and I'm a mom of four. And my number one priority was to stay with my kids. I wanted to raise my kids. I didn't have any family here. And my whole paycheck was not going to go in daycare because my kids were all little and they were back to back, right? They were a year and a half apart, 2 years apart. So they were very little. So my whole paycheck was not going to go in a daycare. Plus, I was not going to let anyone take care of my kids. It was just the way that I was, right? So I remember telling my husband, I'm going to do this business and I know it's going to work because I don't have plan B. I have plan A. I don't have plan B, because if I have plan B, I'm just preparing to fail. So I'm just going to have plan A and I'm going to stick to plan A. And I started working really hard. I raised my kids in Mary Kay, and I raised my kids in a complete different way with an entrepreneur mentality. My kids, the four of them, are missionaries. They travel the world. They all have careers, but they also travel the world, right? Because they're missionaries, and my husband also. And because I did my business, my husband was able 11 years ago to build his own business. He's a general contractor. So now we're both independent. We don't need to ask for permission when we want to travel, when we want to take vacation, when we want to just take a weekend off and just do whatever we want and go wherever we want. And if I want to travel with my Mary Kay friends, we have a group in Mary Kay that we're called the Circle of Seven. We all live in different states, and we're very good friends, and we like to vacation once a year together. So usually we travel, the girls, sometimes we bring the husbands, but it's just to have a great time. And usually we do it right before leadership. We take a few days extra. So I don't need to ask permission for that, right? And if my husband's going to come, he doesn't need to ask for permission. We don't need to wait for vacation. We don't need to wait until, we have sick days to get a vacation. And that is a choice. It is a choice that you make daily in order to build the life of your dreams, in order to build the life that you want. Okay, so what can I tell you that it's going to work for you? This is a time that you need to master your skills and you need to multiply everything that you're doing. October is double credit, and you have to maximize that credit. And especially that we are going into the highest season, sales season of the year, which is Christmas. You have a lot of opportunities to work, and your job is to book those classes. How many people are you calling to do the classes? I don't know if you're doing personal classes. I'm pretty sure that California is very strict in the restrictions for the COVID-19, but Florida is not that much, but I'm still booking a lot of bookings on Zoom because I want it to expand. And you're having the opportunity right now to talk to your friends in other states, or to talk to your friends' families that live in other states. I mean, what are you giving to your hostesses for them to book classes with their family and friends that live in other states? This is your opportunity to go build in other states that you probably would have never done it if this would have never happened. And the good thing is that you can build in the East Coast, North, South, West Coast. I mean, I have new consultants in California right now that I work with them. And when I'm already done with my day, because in here it's 10 o'clock at night, is when I can start working over there, right? Because I have a new consultant there now. So, I mean, this is your time to build and this is your time to work. So your job is to find the customers, to find the prospects, to find the leads that are going to bring you the skincare classes. And you have to find the 12 hostesses for this month, and I am encouraging my girls to have at least 12 hostesses that can have from 3 to 5 people in each class. You have to see how many people you're going to have in there. And if you sell an average of $100 per person, that's counting the ones that don't buy anything and the ones that buy 300. Okay. But at the end, you're going to see that the average sell per person is $100. So if you're doing 45 phases a month, I mean, just because you're doing classes and you're letting your hostesses find the people for you, because I will give them an awesome price for them to go and find the people for me and to do the Zoom classes. And I will do the Zoom classes. And if you don't know how to do it, just figure it out. I'm pretty sure the directors have something in place. When all this pandemic came, in the month of March, I remember just saying, oh my gosh, I have been building my business for 20 years and there's no way I'm going to lose everything I have built just because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I also know who I serve, and I serve God, and He is in control. And even whatever virus comes, has to submit to the power of God. So I am not going to put my fear into whatever crisis is happening. I'm going to put my faith in the one that has control of everything. And I'm just going to go to work. I'm just going to go to work, and I'm going to create systems that people can work. And I remember I work hand by hand with Mary Kay Corporate to create system in where we can work online, and other directors too. But we started working right away, and they started asking a lot for, what do you think about this? And what do you think about this? Until they came up with a lot of things that they have right now for us. And especially the E-Star, $30 for you to build your team. I mean, are you a red jacket yet? And if you're not, then why not? Anyone can come and build their business with $30. You know, the majority of people in the United States go find a job at the mall, retail, just for the Christmas season, to pay credit cards or to buy Christmas gifts. And, you know, there's a lot of people that don't want to go to the mall right now. They don't want to go to the stores, and you have what they need. Right? You have the products that they need, but you also have an opportunity for them to make extra money and to buy their own gifts at 50%. So this is a time that we cannot think, but how do I do it? Figure it out. I'm sure you're a super smart girl. And you know, once you go out there and you talk, words are going to come out. All you need to do is believe in what you're saying, believe in what you're going to obtain, believe in where you are going and the result that you're having, because I don't want you to focus on the result. I want you to focus on the activity. Focusing on the result brings you stress. Focusing on the activity is going to bring you more activity, because then you get a creative mind. You're going to learn how to multiply more. You become more strategic. So just focus on the activity that you do daily, but you will figure it out. But you need to maximize the double credit this month, and you need to have at least minimum 6 consultants, because they're going to count as 12. How many do you need for the National Court of Sharing? You need 24. You can do half of that in 1 month, and then you have until June to do the rest. I mean, we really have to maximize that. We really have to do it. And if we're really going to do this business, why not making money with it? All right. Hobbies cost money. This will be a very expensive hobby if we have it just as a hobby. So what we have to do is we have to, even if it's just one day, that's how I build my business, just one day. And that's what I tell my consultants. Listen, I started this business without cell phone, no Zoom, no social media. You know, I was a mom of 3 kids. I was working nights, and I was just taking care of my 3 and 2 more in the afternoons. And during the day, I have my 3-year-old, my 4-year-old. And I built this business anyways, because when you really want it, you get the vision. And when you have the vision, you know, the ability of a leader is to have such a clear vision and to create a vision that others can see, even though it does not exist yet. Everyone around you will have the opportunity to see it, because it's so clear in your mind and in your heart that everything that you say will build that vision for others, and people will be able to get it. So that's what we need to go out there, and we need to talk to people. So why did I build this business? Because I saw the opportunity. I saw an open door for me. I mean, it was either that, or I was just going to continue to work nights until my kids were big. And I mean, for me, sleeping 8 hours at that time, it was just luxurious. I mean, it was just, oh my gosh, I slept 8 hours last night. I mean, because I didn't have time for that,
right? I didn't have time to sleep 8 hours. I was working part of the night. I was waking up early with the kids. I did not get to sleep a lot. That was just my life. And instead of focusing on, well, my plate is full, I don't have time, how am I going to do this business? My mind always operate in a complete different way. I always said I have been very independent. My mother called it very rebellious, but I call it very independent, right? And I remember thinking at that time, okay, so is this how I'm going to be in the next 3 years? I mean, no sleep. And even though that I'm not sleeping, even though I'm working in corporate America, I'm still not making enough money. So, I mean, why am I so attached to this job? Because I like the people. I can like people anywhere that I go. You know, I like my family and I left my family when I came into the US. So that was not a problem with me. So instead of thinking my plate is full, how am I going to do it? I just said, you know what? This is a great opportunity. Just teach me what I need to do. And I'm just going to give my best. I'm just going to give my best, because if I can make that much money, this is exactly what I'm going to do. So I have faith. I took the risk, right? Because sometimes you know that you're busy and you're doing this and you're doing this, and then you put in more time into it. And I trust God. I trust the process, and I trust everything that was happening to me at that moment. So number one, you need to stay open-minded. You need to stay open-minded. Challenge your old ideas and accept the new ones. We cannot continue to be the same and say, well, I'm just like that. No, we're not. We can always change. You can always change, modify things that are no longer working for you. And we just got to make the decision right away, because the more you dwell on it, the more you're wasting time and the more you're leaving money on the table. Number two, you need to be a student. We will always be learning. So you must be a learner of new levels, Your mentor is not going to make you feel comfortable. If she makes you feel comfortable, she's not doing her job. She's not, because she's here to coach you into a higher level and to a greater, more powerful you. That's what she's here for. And number three, you have to commit. You have to commit to this business, not to commit that, okay, I'm going to work 80 hours a week, which that was another thing. I was told that I needed to work so many hours a week when I wanted to move up. And I always say that it takes commitment and it takes work. You have to be disciplined, but you can also work this business with balance. You can have balance in your life. You don't have to be all Mary Kay, but your excuse cannot be all family. Okay. So I learned to balance my business, do the most that I could with my business, because you're an entrepreneur. There's days that you're going to work 12 hours. Okay. And you got to be okay with that. But there's days that I just don't want to do it. And I call my assistant and I say, just don't book any appointments for today. I'm just going to go have lunch with my daughter. And my other daughter comes out at this time from work. I'm just going to go to the mall with her, and I'm just going to hang out with my girls. Or I'm going to just go visit my boy, right? One of my sons is married. My other daughter is married. I mean, yesterday was a day that I had a lot of things to do in the morning. And then I made a stop and but lunch. And I called my daughter at her job and I said, just come home for lunch. And she came home. We had lunch together. And then the other one called me. I'm off, Mom. And she left. And then I met with the other one and we went out and we just spent some time together. And then at night I came back and I worked. I had, some time with my girls. I didn't have to work all day. I worked some time yesterday, but then I had a lot of time with my girls. So you can have that balance, right? You can have that balance. So number three, you have to commit to taking your business to the next level. If you're not a senior consultant yet, then your goal has to be a senior consultant. You have to share the opportunity, because this is such a great opportunity for a lot of women today that have the uncertainty of what's going to happen tomorrow. Everyone thought they had secure jobs. Everyone thought, oh no, I need to have a secure paycheck by Friday. And when all this hit in March, there were no secure jobs. Okay, so a secure job is you're paying yourself, you're not going to fire yourself, and you have to be disciplined. So the one that you have to manage is this. That's what you have to manage. And know that there's going to come times that you're going to be just planting the seed, and you have to wait. You have to be patient, but you have to be consistent. So what is your goal? If your goal is to become a director, then you need to ask yourself, why do you want to be a director? Why do you want to be a director? Because if you don't have the why, the how is not going to come. You need to have a why in order to have a how. Okay. Number two, what would that give you access to? To be a director, what would that give you access to? What will you be able to do with a director's paycheck? You know, just building your business as a director. I want you to know that when I started, and I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to motivate you. When I started Mary Kay, we lived in an area in Tampa, town and country. We had a beautiful home. And then when I earned my first car, we bought another home. My first Cadillac, we bought another home that we really wanted. It's a beautiful house. And now we're building the house of our dreams. Okay, my husband is a general contractor, and my goal, my desire was always that he will build our home, our dream home, that we get to pick where do we want the windows, what door do we want, how tall do we want the ceilings, that we get to choose and pick every single detail in that home. And we went and we bought land, 5 acres of land, and we're building a huge home. And a lot of people say, but why? Your kids are getting married. Why don't you downsize? Why would I downsize? Why would I? That's not my desire. I want to have a bigger home, right? Not because I want to be prideful, but because my kids are getting married. They're going to come home with more kids to visit. Why am I going to live in a tiny place? I need to have a huge place for my grandkids. I just have my first granddaughter, right? And all I'm thinking is when she runs around those 5 acres. So can you imagine? What is the life of your dreams? What is it that you really want, that you're willing to work? Whatever it takes, and as long as it takes, as long as you keep the balance, because you need to stay emotionally healthy, right? And have a great relationship with your family. But it's so beautiful that you can sit down with your family and you can make decisions. You have to see my Mary Kay office that I'm building in the new home. My Mary Kay office is just, oh my gosh, my windows are huge windows that the back is going to be my infinity pool with my 5 acres and 80 more acres right behind our land that they only have show horses in there. That's going to be my view every day. And I tell you this with a humble heart, because all glory goes to God. And I praise God for the blessings that he has given us. But I'm telling you this to give you hope, because it all depends on what you want. That extra phone call that you don't want to make, that you don't want to repeat the same, that 6 appointment that day that you don't want to say the same thing. It's like, can they just get it, right? That one appointment is going to put you in a different level, and you have to be willing to do it. So what would that give you access to? And why is that so important to you? For me, it was extremely important because we're Christians. And my husband also travels with a construction, because he was able to build his business. Now he can take off whenever he wants, and he travels with a construction ministry around the world building churches. So for me, it was important for us to build our business so that way we can have the freedom to do work for the kingdom of God, just to raise my kids, for my kids to graduate without debt, without student loans. That for me was success, for my kids to graduate without student loans. So what would that give you access to? What is the life that you want? There's something that I want you to think about, and it's very, very important, because I love to study the mind, and I do a lot of, I study with a neuroscientist, and I love to hear her and to read her books. And there's something very important that you have to think about. The conscious, the unconscious mind always wants an answer. So when you search, and when he search an answer and he can't find out, it will fabricate one, right? You know, when people say, well, that doesn't make sense to me. Well, your subconscious mind is going to create, right, that what you're looking for, the answer. And if you can't find it, if you don't have it, it's going to create one, and it's going to fabricate one. And in other words, you will make stuff up, and then that becomes your reality. Is that the truth? No, that's what our minds created. So when you say, oh my God, I don't think I can do that. Yes, you can. You just have to convince yourself and do the work that takes. And if it's God's will, he'll give it to you. He knows the desires of your heart. And if it's his will, he's going to give it to you. And he's going to give him in his time, which his time is perfect. And that's why we have to be very conscious of that. And we have to be very patient and wait on God. But you have to continue to do the work that it needs to be done. Right? Your mind never shuts down. And that's why your prayer, your reading, your training, your mind can never stop. For your reading, studying, and training never stop for a leader. You should always be growing. You should always, growth should be your number one priority. Growth should be your number one priority because it is your most. When you're talking to people, you need to empower people. Because empowering people, giving them knowledge, they're going to go and they're going to conquer the world, right? If we get stuck and we're not doing what we're supposed to do, everyone that is dependent on you is going to get stuck too. So you have to be very selective in the people that you talk to. And I always say that boundaries is a protection. And you have to be careful who you have around you. When you are ready to grow and you're ready to give your all to your business, talk to your mentor. We don't need, this is something that I did in the beginning and I immediately stopped. You know how you want to do something and then you go to all your friends and you say, well, this is what I want to do. And there's some people that are going to tell you, why would you do that? That sounds hard, right? And it's people that you love and you trust. And because you love and you trust, you believe. And we cannot believe on something that is being said that is not the truth. That is not your identity. Your identity is in Christ. And yes, you can. You got to give your best. So, you have to be around people that cause you to think different, more powerful, that challenge the way you think, that create a new thought in your head. You have to be around people that have godly wisdom advice to you. You have to be around people that call you out in a good way when you need to be called out, right? Our group of friends, we call each other out. Like, girl, let me tell you, that's not how it is. You're having an attitude, right? People that call you out in the moments that you have to. But what you cannot do is you can't stop, start. You can't do that in your way to the top. You can't, because it's going to take you too long, right? It's going to take you too long. And then what's going to happen? You probably lose hope or you lose the credibility or the trust that I can do it. Yes, you can. You just have to create the momentum. And the only way that you're going to create the momentum is doing what you're supposed to do more often and more often and more often. How many classes can you do during the week? So your weekly plan sheet in your agenda is a most. And I remember when my kids were growing up, my kids were little, they were in activities. I remember buying a calendar, those huge calendars that they used to sell that you put on the desk, and we put it in the laundry. You have it right there. Yeah, I had it. And we put it in the laundry. So my husband were writing there his time for work. I was writing there whatever activities the kids had and pick them up from school. Everything was in that calendar. And then I could see the spaces that I had to do the skincare classes. But it has to be visual, or you're not going to know when can you do a skincare class. Because if right now I ask you, okay, so which days do you do your skincare classes? How many days do you have? What are your block time for the skincare classes? You're probably going to say, well, right now I'm just a little busy. Well, sometimes we are super busy, but what happened is that the time that we have to do Mary Kay, we are tired, or we're thinking in the things that we need to do because we're not organized. and we're wasting time. So you can work with a messy desk, but you cannot work with a messy mind. Everything needs to be in paper. Everything needs to be organized. Your agenda needs to be in place. So that way, you know, it releases stress. It gives you peace because you know exactly what you need to do. Right? It gives me peace. If I have a lot of things in my mind and I'm not writing them down, I just get crazy. I just get crazy. I mean, even if I'm already in bed, I just wake up and I can't. It's not gonna let me sleep. I gotta get anyone like me. I mean, it's like it's not gonna let me sleep. I gotta get up and write this thing down because I can't. I mean, I'm gonna dream with this thing all night. So I just get up and write it down. And I remember a long time ago, I always have a notebook in my nightstand and a pen, always, because there is a time that you're reading and learning so much and a lot of ideas come to mind. And I remember it was late at night and I could be just falling asleep or I could be sleeping and just waking up with a brilliant idea. And I write it down. I used to write it down because if not, you'll forget. And the best ideas come when you relax. When we're running around and doing things in the house and trying to work at the same time, sometimes, you know, we'll multitask. We can do a lot of things, but sometimes we cannot work on excellence when we're trying to divide the time. Because when you divide your strength, it becomes weak. So you have to have your time for Mary Kay, your time for family, and your time for Mary Kay is your time for Mary Kay. But you have to know how many classes I want to have this week and how many people do I want to share the opportunity, because there's a lot of people out there waiting for the opportunity. And who do you want to work with? What are the things that you want to do? I have so many things that I wanted to give you, but we don't have any more time. I'm checking the time, but who do you want to call? I mean, who are the people, who are the 10 people that you know? Because if you know 10 people, they each know 10. And you can give them a mascara, a lipstick, whatever you want for 10 referrals, just 10. And if 10 people give you 10 names and numbers each, you have a list of 100 people that you can start working with. Okay. And I will give them a gift for that list. And then I will give them another gift for them to book an appointment, because at least I have the list. And if she doesn't do the booking, or if she does the booking and only 3 people show up, I still have the rest. Okay, so I will give them a mascara for 10 names and numbers of people that are 18 or older, that loves makeup or skincare, or, you know, that are willing and ready to hear from you. People that does not have a consultant, because we have to respect the golden rule, right? It is very important, especially now that we're working in social media. But I will give them a mascara for them to give me 10 names and numbers, and 10 people giving you 10 names and numbers. That's a list of 100 people. If you call at least 50 and 25 answer you and 15 do a class with you, I mean, let's just do some numbers. If you have 15 people doing a class with at least 3, that's 45 faces this month. 45, right? And the company says that, I mean, the average sale per person is $100. That's $4,500, right? So 4,500, half of that is $2,250 that you can get this month. And then $2,250, you class is a facial. Facial is 1, a double facial is 2, a class is 3 or more. Okay, 3 or more. So let's suppose that you have 45 people. Oh, my phone is dying. Let's suppose that you have 45 people, and let's suppose that out of 4 or 3 people, you're recruiting 1, you're going to double gold medal this month. And I remember my first month of DIQ, my husband's office burned to the ground. The building had an electrical issue and the whole building burned down. My father was sick. My father has been battling cancer for many years, and I needed to leave the country for 1 week. And I had submitted to become a DIQ. And I remember just stressing out because, oh my God, I only have 3 weeks to work, and look all the chaos I have in my life. So what I did is, before I left, a week that I was leaving, I recruited 3 people, 3 girls. When I came back, because I was doing so many faces, my agenda was full for that Saturday. As soon as I came back, I recruited 5. And that Sunday, I recruited 5. So I double gold medal in a weekend plus the 3 I had. I did 13 people in 1 month. Well, this is your month to do that. Because if you do this 12 to 15 classes this month, you know, just let the people find the people. And if you don't have 12 and you have only 6, well, you do the class with 6, and out of those 6 are going to come the other 6. Out of those classes are you going to find the other 6. But what you cannot do is just block yourself saying, well, that sounds great, but I don't know that many people. Yeah, you do, or you don't have to. Even if you know 1, maybe that 1 knows 20. All you have to do is give her something to motivate her, right? For her to give you the referrals or for her to book the class. How many parties can she host, right? She could probably book 3 classes for you and have 4 people in each class. I mean, or if she can have 8 people in one class, you can tell her, well, I'm going to count that as 2 parties, right? I mean, just work something out with her that she feels you're trying to help her and that is fair and that she's getting cool stuff and free stuff and you're doing the faces. Just find someone to help you. People want to help. All you need to do is ask. But what you cannot do is let the month of October go by without maximizing the double credit that the company's doing for you. Okay? I don't know if anyone has a question.
I have a question.
Okay.
For your by the way, I'm so excited I finally get to meet you. I follow you like on Instagram and Facebook and everything.
Oh,
so I'm a huge fan. I was so excited when Carla and Yaneris invited me. Anyways, I love that you're talking about your parties. I work a lot. I like everything. I'm in DIQ and everything. All my work has just been thank you. All my work has been virtually, which has been amazing. Okay, choo-choo. Okay. But I want to start doing more parties because I need to start seeing more people, right? How do you work with those people? Do you send them all like samples and stuff like that? Or do you do more like QVC style?
Yes. Yeah. QVC and the shopping network. That's how I do it. You know, they've been around for so long and they have done so great. I don't need to change it. But, you know, sometimes we send samples, but sometimes you're doing so many parties that not everyone is going to get the samples on time. You're not going to have time to send it to everyone. And that should not stop you from doing the class. What you have to do is just master that class, have great sales, talk a lot about the product and sell the benefit of the product. People will buy the benefits. People will buy them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's a huge help.
And book as many parties as you can. I mean, you can do 6 parties in one weekend, 3 in one day, 3 in another day, and 3-4 people in each party. And I've done 6 in one day.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like sometimes I slow myself because you know, I have to send her a sample. Let's wait for her to get it. By the time she gets it, I'll start working more QVC style. Thank you.
Yes, don't wait. I have a girl from Puerto Rico. She moved here to Florida in January, and I'm adopting her because her director is American. Her senior is American. Her all the line, they're all speak English. She doesn't speak English. It's only the recruiter, which is her friend. It's bilingual. So she only depend on what this girl was telling her. And the director asked me if I could adopt her. And I did, because she really didn't have, I mean, right now, virtual, you don't need to adopt. Everyone gets connected. But in her case, she had no idea what they were saying. And I adopted her. She came into Mary Kay in January. She submitted June 1st. And in 17 days, she became a director. In July, she asked for a director, and that director asked for a director in August. And they did everything virtual.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
You have to see that it's possible. Other people are doing it. You can do it too. All you have to do is just plan your work and work your plan, like Mary Kay used to say, and just focus on what you need to do. Talk to your mentor, your director all the time, and help people on your team to become red jackets too. You know, because if you're doing a skincare class, let your people watch you. And then they can go do it, and they can bring their guests as they watch you. So that way they can also grow.
You grow and you allow your people to grow too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Lucia, what is a brief business plan that you would give someone who is a mom of small children, but also has a full-time job? What would her work and Mary Kay look like? What is something that you would advise for her to do? Maybe like 4 hours of phone calling, or you're the pro. So can you share with us?
Yeah. Usually I share with them how I did it. You know, during the week, I will make a few phone calls and I tell them, even at lunch. I mean, the good thing is that now everyone has a cell phone and you can even send a messenger, WhatsApp, text, you know, and people will answer you, and you can start booking appointment as you're on your job, or, you know, lunchtime, the lunch hour, you can eat in 30 minutes or 20 minutes. And then the rest of the time, what are we going to do? Sit around people and talk about how hard life is, right? Just book appointments. Use your time to book appointments, and book a Saturday. Book a Saturday. You're probably going to be busy, but it's just a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain, you know? And I usually tell them how I did it. I used to do 3 parties on a Saturday, starting, you know, 3 parties on a Saturday. But during the week, I will confirm the parties and pre-profile the people and send people messages and, you know, send cards over the mail. Now you send a text. So sometimes they don't need to put so much time in the beginning. As long as you have an hour to pre-profile, to make the phone calls and to book appointments, and then, during the week to send text messages, and then just pick one day, you know, and just block 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours to do 3 parties. It doesn't even have to take you an hour, because everything is virtual now. Right? So, and just master a class and do your business and make some extra money, because even though that they're busy and they have kids, if they really need the money, they would have gone and find a part-time job during the Christmas, right? So instead of going 20 hours a week to find a part-time job to make an extra $600 a month, which is nothing, why not do just one day Mary Kay a week, and then just make, you know, $500 a month, because you can sell $1,000, $1,200, and you're making $500, $600 a month. And if you're recruiting, then you can have a $300, $400, $500 check. And I mean, and then you're building a customer base. And if you have 50 customers just reordering from you and you're doing sales, you can easily, you know, just get $500 from resales and $500 from your team. And you can have $1,000 extra a month easily, just part-time, just for fun money, you know. But they don't need to work this business so many hours. If they have a full-time job, they're moms, they just have to see what they need, and then how much extra do you need a month, and then let's pick, you know, whatever you need to do a month in order to make that extra. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you. We also have, I believe, a few Spanish speaking only consultants / directors online, but they want to feed off of your energy, because we're just like empowering them with the top of the top, which is you, Lucia. So with that being said, hay algunas personas que tienen algunas preguntas. Lucia obviamente habla español.
Sí, claro que sí.
So, si alguien tiene alguna pregunta que quiera hacerle a Lucia, aprovechen por favor.
¿Quién tiene preguntas, chicas?
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Araceli. Entendí muy bien todo, también soy bilingüe, gracias a Dios, pero soy nueva en todo esto, apenas tengo 4 meses y apenas me estoy organizando. Mi pregunta es, ¿cómo hacer un party virtual? Porque apenas voy a agarrar mis tarjetas, tengo la idea que Janet hizo share en otras clases, de dar samples, como ya sea que puedo ir como al McDonald's que trabajaba cuando era joven y llevarle ahí las que conozco y que me refieran y agarrar contactos. Pero ¿cómo hago party? ¿Cómo lo voy a hacer si va a ser virtual? Porque a lo que yo entendí, Lucía, por ejemplo, si no tienen los samples, puedo hacer como la clase con 3 o 4 personas, simplemente mostrándoles el producto, como yo haciéndome mi facial en mí, o estoy un poquito confundida en eso, o cómo lo voy a probar.
Si no tienes tiempo de darle los samples, porque por ejemplo, ahora mismo, si yo puedo mandar unos samples para Puerto Rico y se van a tardar en llegar, o si tú estás en California y estás mandando unos samples para la Florida y me acabas de conocer jueves y la clase es el viernes en la noche, no tienes tiempo, pero tampoco tienes tiempo que perder, porque se te pasa el mes esperando y entonces no estás haciendo las clases. Usualmente yo lo que hago es que yo tengo los productos y yo voy mostrando el producto. Por ejemplo, yo puedo ir mostrando el producto. Tú puedes ir a tu Mary Kay Touch y donde dice productos, central de productos, ahí tú sacas toda la información de la compañía en cuanto a esos productos y tú puedes hacer un highlight a lo que tú quieres hablar. Yo les recomiendo mucho a mis chicas lo que son los index cards, ¿verdad? Estos index cards para mí son sumamente importantes. Aquí tú puedes escribir algunos detalles sobre el producto que tú estás mostrando. Y en esta parte del index card tú puedes poner la fotografía del producto, tú lo puedes adornar muy bonito. O sea, si nosotras ahora mismo vemos lo que es Good Morning America o ¿cuáles son los productos?
Despierta América.
Despierta América, todos ellos tienen tarjetas y no por eso uno está pensando, oh, wow, ellos no saben lo que tienen que decir. Al contrario, uno ve que ellos tienen unos puntos de, ¿verdad? Como unos bullet points que ellos se están dejando llevar para lo que ellos van a hablar. Entonces, tú puedes escribir, lo primero que voy a hablar es de la limpiadora. Entonces, la limpiadora tal y tal y tal punto. Lo segundo que voy a hablar es un humectante, tal y tal y tal punto. Y tú puedes ir mostrando el producto y tú puedes ir hablando de ese producto y de los beneficios de ese producto. Y lo puedes ir mostrando. Yo usualmente me pongo el producto en la mano. Una de mis directoras hace el facial haciéndoselo ella. Usualmente yo tengo, por ejemplo, yo puedo hacer una clase virtual y después inmediatamente tengo una entrevista y después tengo una orientación a consultoras nuevas. Entonces no me hago el facial para no estarme quitando lo que es el maquillaje. Pero tú puedes hacer tu clase solamente hablando. Comienzas hablando del producto, al final terminas con ofertas. Yo sí le digo a las muchachas que es sumamente importante que ellas tengan la pluma y papel y que ellas vayan escribiendo todo lo que yo estoy mencionando que a ellas les gusta. ¿Verdad? Al final le puedes mandar algunos collage que tú también puedes crear, que le puedes mandar para que ellas vean las ofertas que tienes y para que ellas vean el producto, pero definitivamente es importante que ellas sean partícipes activas de tu clase de la piel y para eso le tienes que dar como ese coaching, ¿verdad? Que tengan su cámara prendida, que te hagan las preguntas que ellas tienen, que participen, que te digan qué les preocupa sobre su piel y ahí tú las vas llevando poco a poco con los productos que tú vas mostrando y al final ya tú das tus ofertas. ¿Sí contestó tu pregunta?
Ay, sí, muchas gracias. Estoy tomando nota y te estoy escuchando. Muchísimas gracias porque la verdad me siento perdida cuando, ay, ¿cómo lo hago? ¿Cómo apenas estoy haciendo la universidad también en InTouch y estoy pasando donde está información sobre lo que puedes hacer y no puedes hacer en las redes sociales. Eso también me da como un poquito temor el de qué tal que estoy promocionando algo que no tengo que hacer. Apenas creé mi página también de Facebook para mis business. ¿Todo esto puedo hacerlo como un live en mi business page o no?
En tu VIP page, sí, claro que sí, también lo puedes hacer en tu página privada. Claro que sí. Y me dijiste que estás en tu cuarto mes.
Sí, porque, sí, más bien quinto porque a finales de mayo.
Ok, so tienes mayo, junio, julio, agosto. Agosto fue tu cuarto mes. Ok.
Quinto mes. Y tomé todo. Estoy bien surtida de productos, estoy bien emocionada
Muy
para
bien.
sacar, agarré todos los beneficios de nueva consultora.
Muy bien.
Es el que todavía como que, ¿cómo lo hago? ¿Cómo es que tengo que salir de mi comfort zone y hacerlo? Y luego ahorita que estoy leyendo información como que me confundo un poquito el de, ok,
Mira,
¿cómo hago?
te voy a dar una recomendación. Si ya tienes el sistema, hazlo, porque a veces la confusión puede ser un poco de inseguridad en hacer el negocio, si es tu background no viene de esto, y entonces uno coge un poquito de miedo y eso crea mucha más confusión y entonces uno menos se atreve. Lo que tienes que hacer es, si ya has leído y has estudiado, ahora ponlo en práctica. Ponlo en práctica, porque en algún lado tienes que depositar todo aquello que ya has cogido, porque si no sigues acumulando información, entonces
te sigues confundiendo más porque no has depositado esa información en algún lugar y entonces vas a tener más preguntas y por qué esto, sí esto. Si ya tienes un sistema y tienes producto, lo cual te felicito porque es el paso número 1, ¿verdad? El nosotras tener productos. En este momento ahora es ir a vender ese producto y tener también la oportunidad de conocer chicas para compartir la oportunidad. Así es que te recomiendo que te atrevas y que te lances y hagas tu primera clase. Haz tu lista de lo que vas a hacer, de los productos que vas a hablar y lánzate y hazlo. Ya después entonces tú dices, ok, debí haber hecho esto, no debí haber hecho esto. Entonces ya ahí modificas y cambias todo lo que tienes que cambiar y vas ajustando, pero por lo menos te vas atreviendo y vas trabajando.
Ok, so, por ejemplo, perdón, estoy tomando todo el tiempo, ¿verdad?
No,
Por ejemplo, voy a hacer mi clase, vamos a decir, la puedo estar ahorita promocionando. El sábado voy a tener clases sobre la piel. Díganme si les interesa o cómo lo hago en mi página, o nomás les estoy avisando, a tales horas voy a tener la clase sobre la piel y si alcanzo a repartir unos samples a esas personas, hey, conéctate a mi Facebook, mañana recojo mis tarjetas y puse mi Facebook page, so vamos a decir, conéctate a mi Facebook, voy a hacer una clase el sábado a tales horas, por ejemplo, o, o cómo lo promociono.
Puedes hacerlo en tu página privada. Yo te recomiendo que en vez de preguntarles, las invites. Tú puedes dejarles saber, mira, yo soy consultora nueva. Vamos a suponer que tú estás booking Janeris. Tú le dices, mira, hola Janeris, mira, yo soy consultora nueva de Mary Kay y parte de mi entrenamiento es en vivo. Así es mi entrenamiento, es en vivo. Entonces, necesito chicas que sean mis invitadas para aprender sobre belleza. No tienes que tener ningún tipo de compromiso. Lo único que necesito es que estés presente para que escuches tips de belleza. Pero no le preguntes, ¿te interesa? Porque entonces te van a decir, ay, tienen una opción. Y tú no le estás dando opción, tú le estás preguntando. Entonces, Janeri, como yo sé que tú siempre has sido súper nice, me encantaría que estuvieras en esa primera, porque de repente, ¿verdad? Pues voy a estar hablando tips de belleza que he aprendido y me encantaría compartirlo con las chicas, pues que tienen una buena actitud. Y como estoy empezando, ¿verdad? Soy consultora nueva, parte de mi entrenamiento es en vivo. Y ahí ya tú las invitas en vez de preguntarle. Tú lo puedes hacer en Facebook o tú lo puedes hacer FaceTime o Zoom. Zoom creo que te da 40 minutos completamente gratis porque en Facebook es chévere, pero en Facebook a veces tú no sabes quiénes están entrando porque de repente se salen y ya no están ahí. Sin embargo, en Zoom o FaceTime, tú sabes que están todas ahí. Tú las estás viendo.
Correcto, gracias. Sí, muchas gracias. La verdad que ya tomé bastantes notas. Muchísimas gracias.
Qué bueno, qué bueno. A ti.
Any final questions for Lucia at all? Are we good? Going once, going twice.
I have one question. Sorry, ladies. Just my final question is, for example, I know you say you give them something as a hostess. What is it like? Do you have like a special hostess program that you use for them, or you just give them like a mascara, eyeshadow type of thing?
Yeah, I try to find out what they like the most.
Okay.
And depending on how many people they have there, I give them that because I want them to really work for something that they want. I'm pretty sure that the directors have hostess program in place, but it's always good to find out what she likes and let her work for something that she really, really, really wants because she's going to work for that.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. Any other questions? Well, I want to say thank you so much, Lucia, for coming on tonight. You have been a pleasure. You've been awesome. You've been so kind to all of us. No wonder you have received your Go Give. Okay, so thank you so much. Se lo agradezco de todo corazón. Hemos todos aprendido bastante. We all learned so much from you. We wish you all nothing but success. And I recently saw that you went to go pick up your pink Cadillac. What number is this? Because I'm sure you renew it every 2 years.
Yeah, my 12 car, my 6 pink Cadillac.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And you still get the same butterflies when you go and...
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Yes. Never take that for granted.
Awesome. Any final advice that you can give to our girls, why they should move up levels from where they're at right now, and why should they strive to become a director? Can you share with them a little bit the perks of becoming a director?
It's for the dream, it's for the hope, it's for what you can create for your family. Not only for you, it's for your family. And one thing that I always said, that my kids they were never my excuse, they were always my reason. I wanted to create something different from them. I wanted to give them a platform in where they can think different and do things different, and just mold their minds into a different level, that their platform was going to be completely different. And sometimes, you know, we think this way because we have learned to be afraid, or we have learned fear. I didn't want them to learn that. I wanted them to learn, you know, just to start somewhere higher and in a higher level. So becoming a director gives you the opportunity to build something for your family completely different, you know, and gives you the opportunity to drive for free, to design your own check, to help others to achieve also. And there's no more satisfaction than you becoming a director and helping others move up and seeing other people also building their lives. So don't, you know, just be patient. Don't ever give up. Because one of the things that I always told myself, okay, you give up for what? What's out there that is so fabulous and so magnificent that is waiting for you? There's nothing greater than this. There's nothing greater than this. I mean, at least for me, there's nothing greater than this. And I always kept that in mind and in front of me. I always kept my goal in front of me, and I worked for it. You know, not always things happen the way you want, but I can assure you that you will always get a benefit and you will always grow.
Thank you so much for your precious time, Lucia. You're amazing. I have a mom in the room. I just wanted to say hi really quick because I know that you've spoken to her through Voxer. Mom, venga a decir hola rapidito, que ya se vaya.
Claro.
Hola, hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Aquí ando de mamá, llevando, trayendo.
Qué linda, pero eres una gran mamá porque tienes unas hijas maravillosas. Te felicito.
Thank you, gracias.
You're welcome. Qué bueno conocerte.
Gracias por tu cooperación aquí para apoyar a estas fabulosas.
Claro que sí, siempre.
Gracias, Dios te bendiga.
Amén, igual a ti.
Muchas gracias. Again, thank you so much, ladies. I did record this session. Lucia, again, thank you for everything, for all your tips, your advice. And I can't wait to see you on stage, even if it's virtually, but hopefully it's not next year, right? Because it's not the same. It's really not. But ladies, for you guys who want to go ahead and watch this video once again, I will post it. Some of you did get the notification on Facebook. It's called Go Getters. So there you guys will see all of these recordings. You guys will also get tips and tricks on how to work your business. Okay, they're shorter clips so that you don't have to be in class for a whole hour and 30. So I will be showing you guys how we do facials in a bag, how to work your business, all your questions that you guys have. And now the other page that you guys are familiar with, Beauty by Carla Mendiola, that one's going to be strictly for only how I do makeup and how I do how we use skincare products. Okay, so product knowledge, how to do makeup, so you guys will have it all. Okay, if you guys need that information, let us know. Message me on Instagram, on Facebook. I always reply. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's meeting. Again, Lucia, may God bless you. Thank you for your Go Give spirit. And I hope everyone has a great... ¿Cómo?
Es mi honor. Gracias por invitarme.
Claro que sí, fue un placer en tenerla, maravillosa, súper amable, y le agradezco todos sus consejos que me dio por teléfono la semana pasada. Ok, chicas, tirémosles un besito. Let me change the view.
Gracias. You got this. You're going to finalize your DIQ very successfully. You got this. And I just want to welcome Francis. I think Paul is Emma, if I'm not mistaken. So
Emma.
welcome. And thank you everybody else for tuning in and for being a wonderful guest audience to our wonderful top director in Mary Kay, Lucia Fernandez. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.